In this video, you're going to learn how to build a better navigation system in Shopify using metafields and metaobjects. By the end of the video, you'll know how to set up a menu like this that links to collections and an easy to use filtering system that uses the Search and Discovery app by Shopify. For context, I've built hundreds of Shopify sites and I'm confident this is the best way to build a reliable system for navigation. Anyways, let's hop over to the computer. All right, now inside of Shopify here, you'll notice that I have a few different products already created, and I want to create a navigation and filtering system for these products where each one will be able to be filtered by size. And so I'm going to start that off by going over into settings. And then I am going to select metafields and metaobjects. I'm going to create a new definition here. I'm going to call it size under metaobjects, and then I will name that size as well. And then I will choose a single text field. So essentially we'll be able to add a bunch of entries here in a second for size. So I'm going to hit save. Now I want to back out of settings, and you'll notice under this content tab over here, there's this metaobjects area, and you'll notice we have this new definition here called size. Now I want to click into size, hit add entry, and I'm going to create a small size and hit save. Then I'm going to back out into entries. I'm going to add another entry for medium. Awesome. Then I'm going to back out into entries and I'm going to hit another one, and I am going to call this large. Nice. Now we have all of our different entries created within the meta object, which is awesome. We have small, medium, and large. Obviously, we can add as many as we want here, but you may be wondering, how do we assign these to the product? How does that work? Because if we go now down below, we don't actually have an area to select our sizes yet. Well, to do that, we'll want to go back into settings, go into metafields and metaobjects, go into products for the metafield, and we're going to add a definition. We're going to call it size, and we are going to select one of value and then choose the metaobject. And we are going to select size over here. Now you'll notice that you have one entry versus list of entries. One entry means that we can only choose one option in the product. So the product can only be small, medium, or large, but you could do a list of entries if multiple different filters apply. Like for example, let's say instead of size, we had material and a product used more than one material in it, then you'd want to choose list of entries because you'd want to have like, I don't know, ceramic and stone, for example, to be applied to the product. But in this example, we're just going to do one of, just because product can only be one size here. So I'm going to hit save here. Awesome. Exit out of this. And now we're going to go through our products. And for this one here, you'll notice that we now have the product metafields and we have the size option. If we click into it, we can select an entry, and now we can select small, medium, or large. Since this is a small vase, we will hit small here and hit save. I'm just going to apply this to a few more products over here. So I'll also make this one small. Awesome. So now we have all of the metafields applied to our products. Now you may be wondering, what can we do with this now? Like, this is fantastic, but like what's next? Like, how do we actually filter, these products? How do we add them to a collection? Well, I'll show you that here. First of all, we can create a new collection, and we could call it vases, and we could make it a smart collection, and we could actually filter by metafield value. So for example, we could select size here and then add a collection just for large vases or for medium vases or for small vases. Or we can have any condition met and then add in a few different conditions. So I'm just going to make a collection with all of my vases here called vases, and we'll hit save. And then the next thing we'll do is we'll just create a collection for small vases, medium vases, and large vases. So if I go back over into collections, we can hit add collection here, and this will just be a small vase collection. We'll make it smart. We'll make it based off of our metafield option size, and we will select small. So now if I hit save and then go to view this collection, you'll notice that only our small vases are in here, which is awesome. But let's say we wanted to have more advanced filters other than availability and price. We wanted all of our vases in here, but we wanted to be able to be filtering down to a specific vase. Well, we can do that by going into apps, and we're gonna add the app called Search and Discovery. So I'm gonna open up the App Store. I'm gonna search for Search and Discovery. I'm gonna hit install. Awesome. And you'll notice right when we load up the app, we'll have this customize filters options. So we'll hit customize filters, we'll add a filter, and in here, we can actually choose our size product meta field. You could always search for it if you don't see it right away. And we have all of our different sizes in here automatically. We could even group them if we needed, but in this case, we don't necessarily need to. It's a pretty simple example. So I'll hit save here. Awesome. Now, if we go back out and then go into online store, and if we hop into our theme customizer here, we'll be able to go into collections, default collection, and instead of loading our homepage collection, I'm just gonna swap it to our vases collection. Now, once the collection is swapped over, we have this size option where we can drop it down and we can filter by only small vases, or we can filter by medium vases, or we can filter by large vases. Now, most modern Shopify themes will have this filtering and sorting feature already built into it, especially if it is a 2.0 theme, which Horizon is. But if you don't have this feature in, you can either build a section like this, or honestly, investing in a theme where this functionality is available with the 2.0 filtering and sorting. It's quite honestly worth it. Now, before I conclude this video, I just want to mention that the reason for, doing this approach with the metafields and metaobjects is that it's just very scalable and reliable. I've worked on a lot of Shopify sites, and quite honestly, as soon as you start to filter by tags and assigning different tags to products, it turns into a total mess because, one person names a tag a certain way and another person names a tag a different way. And even a discrepancy with spelling small uppercase could make a difference, or someone can forget the L and so on. And you don't think it'll happen to you, but quite honestly, it most likely will, just because we're human after all. Actually, one more really useful tip that I want to show you here, and that is how to automatically apply a filter to this collection. So if we go back over to our small vase collection, I'm just going to pull up the vase collection. What's it called? Vases here. Yeah, awesome. And let's say that we wanted to add like only medium filtered vases to our navigation. I can actually copy the URL, and here I might just have to drag my screen down just a little bit just so you can see it. You'll notice that I have this URL on the top here. I can actually take this URL up here and then go over into my navigation. So we can go over into content, menus, into our main menu navigation, add in a new navigation item. And of course, we can add in any of the collections that we just created within here, but we can also just apply the link that we added, and the filter will automatically be applied. So I'll add in that link. I'll call it, what did I sort to? Medium vases. So we'll call this medium vases. Awesome. So I just had to refresh my page a couple times. It just took a while for the menu to update. But now that we have this medium vases link in here, when we click on it, it already filters down to the medium vases filter over here, which is awesome. And the advantage of this is that we drop someone into the catalog that's larger, but is filtered down. So if we don't want, to view medium vases, but we want to view other vases, we can click out of this and we still have access to all these other products. Whereas if you already pre-filter something within, or pre-filter the products within a collection, for example, if we loaded our small vases collection, you'll notice that the filtering option doesn't show because there is nothing really to filter to, where we've already filtered down into small vases. So hopefully this video helps you build a better, reliable system. I can't stress enough that I've seen multiple different collection and filtering systems built within Shopify, and I feel confidently that doing this metafield approach will save you a lot of headaches down the line, opposed to using some sort of tagging system. There's also other apps out there that can help you with filtering, which is really great if you need more advanced customizations, but I'd say for like 95% of stores, this approach is quite honestly the best one. Anyways, feel free to check out the rest of my videos here on YouTube. Every Friday, I release a new video for the freelancer dev community. And usually there are a bunch of good tips and tricks on how to build sections within themes, how to build out different functionality like what I showed you here, and all that fun stuff. Anyways, cheers.